Tactics Tuesday birthday edition. Yeah, today's topic has to do with birthdays and kind of more so the anniversaries of games and the idea of remakes and remasters. I guess it kind of goes with today. Today is my birthday, so I thought it could be kind of appropriate to go with something like this. And where is the metrics? I'll get that out of the way. All right, so yeah, you might be wondering, Stel, so why did you go for more of a birthday kind of thing? I guess, like, chat, what I should ask you guys starting off, like, why do you think that companies or brands recognize something like a product of theirs on, like, a special day? Like, oh, this game came out X years ago. Let's do, like, a whole campaign for it, blah, blah, blah. Why do you think companies can celebrate products of theirs? Any answers? Any guessers? Oh, yeah, Parker's got the answer. Yeah, oh, there it is. Yeah, why that? Well, money. So, recent example, obviously, I know he's not there anymore, but, like, Reggie's kind of, like, the guy when it comes to Nintendo business. But, like, I think a recent example is that we all saw it back in the Nintendo Direct back in February, was when they announced the characters for Smash. So yeah, like, you know, they take countless games from across different generations and then they'll use ways to essentially repackage them or kind of just remaster them in a way where it'll appeal to the people who played those games back in the day, like boomers at this age pretty much, so like your Atriocs of the world.
Excuse me?
And they'll want to play it again because it's remastered, it's remade in some instances in like this new style, full like 1080p, 1440p, even 4K at sometimes. It's crazy to think that 4K is actually a thing. Like, I don't know how you feel about 4K gaming, but still. And then they take that game, make those changes, and it's a full-fledged game, like full-price game, MSRP. And like the most recent example that people talk about is Skyward Sword. And I know people were pretty mixed about that. I remember seeing like when it happened. Like, I watched the Direct live as it happened, and people were just like Pepe Modsing at the idea of having to like pay full price for Skyward Sword again. They're like, come on, we ever have to do this? Like, seriously? But hey, that's just how it is sometimes. Companies got to make that money. In order to churn out more products, they may have to go down that well, look at the calendar, and go, oh, hey, that game's anniversary is coming up. Yeah, and like the other thing is, it kind of goes back to what I talked about with nostalgia marketing back on the first Tactics Tuesday, where it's like companies like are realizing that people these days, like depression's at an all-time high, at least it was over the past year. People are sad and they need something to be like entertained by or something to keep them busy, make them stop thinking about like the unfortunate circumstances we find ourselves in. And that's where, you know, anniversaries come in, or like just like a new IP of sorts brings themselves back into the fold with like either a remaster of this game that they played growing up, or a remake of this, or something else like or a return to an IP, those sort of things. And yeah, money. That's the big thing. I think at the end of the day, like less so from like a money standpoint, is that it also allows for people to become like new fans of whatever that series may be. I think an example where people were just like kind of out of a series because like a recent game wasn't very good, but then they announced this next big thing, and it's all like, oh, apologies. So my example is Final Fantasy XIII. For fans of the series out there, you know that FF13 is one of like the most like worst games in the series. And I know like when people like, I guess like when Remake was kind of brought into the fold, like, what, 2014, 2015? I think it was 2015 was like when the project was like brought to light. That's when people were like, oh shit, they're gonna bring it back. And that's like that's that sort of nostalgia thing that comes in. And it also appealed to me because like I heard lots of stories about FF7. I was interested by it, so I got the remake, and hey, here I am like over a year after the game came out, still talking about the game. Part 2 Integrate's about to come out in a couple days. So yeah, there's that element to it. And not only do you bring in the lapsed fans who like have been wanting like a good modern FF game that isn't like FF14, which is more of an MMO, you bring fans back in with a title that, you know, has the old characters, has the traditional story, has the setting, all like in a new grand scale, and totally remade from the ground up. Sure, I mean, the aftermath of the game is certainly split opinion of how like they handle it, but you know, that's the thing. I guess it's more of that's why it's a remake instead of a remaster. Like you go on here, you type in Final Fantasy. It's like what? Countless like almost every like main series game is listed here. Like almost every main series game, just about. It's crazy. And like, if I'm like a remaster. Yeah, so you get like COD, you get Black Ops 3 is on here. The Final Fantasy 10-2 remasters on here, Mass Effect. All these games that we kind of grew up with, like in like our teenage youth years, they're all on here again to buy again, so the publisher can still make money because they might be making new games that just don't sell well, and it hurts them. So they kind of want to go back to the old well and make as much money as they can off this. It's kind of a cash cow, to be fair, because like the dev teams have probably changed, staffing has changed over the years too. Maybe they just can't churn out as good a product anymore. Another recent example that happened just a week and a half ago, something like that. So this is what it came from. So someone tweeted this out. It was on Twitter somewhere, and it shows that like Dragon Quest fans, and from like a conference they did recently, got a hell of a lot of stuff announced, like new mainline game, a bunch of remasters and remakes, a bunch of other stuff. I think they're getting a concert series too, or something like that. A lot of good stuff, and Sonic fans just didn't get as much. We'll review what they got. And like we'll talk about like the effects this could have on like the brand, how that is. So the Dragon Quest side of things. So they announced the mainline game, which is Dragon Quest 12. They also announced, it's more of a mature setting. So a new mainline game. This made me pick up Dragon Quest 11. They're gonna have a worldwide release for the game. So yeah. So they also got Dragon Quest Treasures. They got Dragon Quest 10 related content. They got a Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, which is good. And then this is something I forget. You can't read it because it's in Japanese, but they got a lot going on. I think you're all starting to get the point of what's going on, like this anniversary stuff that they're doing. They're remastering and remaking games that were beloved by fans, and they're also announcing new content for any new fans to kind of dive into. So it kind of makes them feel more welcome in the community, that sort of thing, and makes them excited for future releases of the games. So you keep that. You get their interest with games, both new and renowned games by fans, and you keep them in with like other things like retention stuff like events, concerts, new content for other games, blah, 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 that sort of thing. On the Sonic end, what they've been doing, so Sonic's going to show in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. God damn it. I'm not sure. So is that a game? Get Sonic DLC for, what's this in? 2 Point Hospital. So it looks like an aesthetic thing. So nothing like too playable. But then there's this Sonic the Fighters, which is an older arcade game. Actually a pretty cool game from what I remember. It's going to be in a Yakuza spin-off, Lost Judgment, releasing later this year. So, they're bringing it back as part of a game. More of a collaboration thing. That's kind of cool. They're actually getting they're getting it more spread across. Other places have it, Yakuza fans can play it. It's more of like a side activity thing, I'm pretty sure. I get some achievements. It's a good game. It's an older arcade game, to be fair. But I think this is one of the biggest things that they got in that announcement, which is there's a Sonic Color. I think is it a remaster? Yeah, it's a remaster. Sonic Colors Ultimate is coming this year. Yeah, this is one of the big things that they got. There's also some other stuff that they announced, and that's more so for next year. But I'd say that this is pretty big. So yeah, a remaster of Sonic Colors titled Sonic Colors Ultimate has been announced for September of this year. You also get a digital deluxe version, as almost every new big game gets. You get DLC from the movie, blah, 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 usual stuff. And then for the old school fans, I didn't know a lot about this, is Sonic Origins coming in 2022. So it's a compilation that includes Sonic's classic adventures from yesteryear. So you get 1, 2, 3 with Knuckles, by the way. Most important thing, you get and Knuckles. Very good. Sonic CD, so it's pretty much for the old school fans and the boomers. I guess the equivalent to those, So you get those, which is good. So you also keep the more modern Sonic fans appeal if they're not big on the old games. But you also keep the older Sonic fans appeal. So it's kind of like Dragon Quest. You kind of get the best of both worlds in this one. People like the older games kind of get their fair share. People who like the newer ones too. So you get the best of both worlds, as I said. Sonic joins PlayStation 4 Now and Amazon Luna Library. Yeah, PlayStation Now is basically Netflix but with PlayStation. So it's you can browse this library of games with a membership. It's kind of neat. It's mostly for older games, but the occasional big title game will be in a AAA game or something like that, which is kind of cool. That's it. You also get DLC for Sonic mobile games. Small aesthetic things. Oh, I forget. So for the Minecraft fans, any Dreamheads in chat, you're gonna get him in Minecraft next. So you get stuff on mobile for the Dash game. You get stuff in Minecraft. You get stuff. So, pretty well versed. It's just not so much in the world of games, you know, compared to the Dragon Quest one, which is like lots of games, other stuff too, aesthetic things as well. That's like the big thing that they got. A lot of games, that sort of thing. So after that, this is probably the biggest one for like, I guess like across the board, like the general Sonic fan, because I think the biggest thing when it comes to Sonic games for people is that the 3D platformer games. So is that they kept like every Sonic fan like interested, because you know 3D game we haven't seen in such a long time, since like Adventure and Adventure 2. I remember being into those. So it's a very short teaser trailer. They got that. So, you know, they got a pretty solid one. I just feel like there's a lot of little things in here. Not as much games, but a lot of little things. So I could see why people were posting this meme, and it did get like a fair amount of traction on Twitter. So I could see why people went for that. Yeah, moral of the story: both old school and modern fans gonna get a fair share. Like old school Sonic, you get that, but also you get like a teaser of what's coming up in the future. Sure, it may not be for like a while, but it's better than nothing. Wouldn't you guys agree? So what I did with this is I also put down other notable anniversaries, like the past like year of gaming. So PlayStation, I think PlayStation had like what, their 30th last year or 25th? Pokemon Gold and Silver, I think, turned 20 last year. This year is Zelda's 35th, which is huge for them. Yeah, what's the anniversary coming up this month in gaming? Battletoads, Half-Life 2. What's today? Nothing is today. Nothing on my birthday was, I guess, like, has like a big anniversary today. Oh well. It do be like that. It do be like that, chat. September. Oh, Star Fox 64 3D turns 10. How old's the original Star Fox 64 at this point? It is. That's gotta be like what? 10, 20, like 24. Yeah, it turns 24. It'll be 25 next year. It's almost the same age as me. I'm 25 now. Yeah, I'm a boomer.
So true.
Oh my God. N64 was released in the US 25 years ago. Chat, they gotta, like, they'd have to make like an N64 classic for this, right? Do you guys think they could do that? Make like an N64 classic to sell like the SNES classic and the NES classic? Do you guys think they could do that? Because I think they could. They'd be hype as shit. And I think this would be a great idea if like they could do it. It makes sense considering it's 25 this year. Like, the opportunity is right there. I'm not sure if they're gonna do it. It's also Nintendo, and we know how they feel about our memories and how they're gonna charge us a lot for that. So next, what I want to do is kind of talk about my own experiences with it. So yeah, my top 5, like my own personal top 5. I think I'll do a tie between the Final Fantasy 9 and 10 remasters. They redefined the graphics for like a new platform, like a PS4 or a PC to play. They add content in from other releases, like FF10 added the international release stuff, like the bonus content, like the end bosses, super bosses, blah blah blah. Extra content to do, weapons, equipment. So yeah, number 4. It's a game we've also streamed, and it actually came from my Wii U. Funnily enough, it is the Donkey Kong 64 Virtual Console version. Yeah, this one also ups the game. Yeah, this one ups the game so well, because I think some issues that the original game had were like some like frame rate issues. Graphics were kind of weird at times. Yeah, moving on along. Number 3, it's the Kingdom Hearts Remix like collection. Yeah, this one includes every like main, I guess every entry in the Kingdom Hearts series, even like the movies and shit, into like one like total package. They fully redo. So what they did with the DS games is that they took them and they made them into like cinematic movies where you just watch the entire cutscenes, and they kind of remaster them too in like the PS3/4 technology, which is cool. But it's more so about the main series. So the numbered titles, the spin-off, like the other games, like Birth by Sleep is in there as like a full pre-made game. I think it's a really good port to the PlayStation 3 and 4. There are load times though in the PS3 version, which are way better in the PS4 re-release, which is good. It's a good package. If you ever get into Kingdom Hearts, just make sure you have a PS4/PS5 to play the series on. That's all I would really say. And then just pick up this all in one package. So you literally get everything, including Kingdom Hearts 3. Plus the DLC in that game, I'm pretty sure. Number 2 up next. We're sticking with Square. And it's one that probably shouldn't surprise a lot of people considering how much I have talked about this on stream before. It is the FF7, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know it's still like ongoing, and this could change. This could easily change depending on how it goes. Like maybe it could go number 1. Maybe it could fall off the list entirely if it doesn't go that well. I mean, it's more of like a proper like love. I mean, like it's just a modernization of the original game. Because like the original game, if it was made 1-to-1 in like a modern format, it wouldn't go that well. I think. I don't think it would go down that well. So which is why they kind of take the choice to split up into like 3 to 4 parts of a release series and like kind of retell the story, which is fine. But my number 1 remaster / remake of a game. Yeah, definitive edition of Xenoblade 1. Fantastic. Like it just like makes the game. It fixes so much quality of life stuff too. It's more, I mean, it's like a borderline remake, considering what the game used to look like. The Xenoblade remaster, it gave the graphics more of like a modern look and made the game. I mean, it's only 720p to be fair. And hey, we get that Switch Pro coming out. That's been rumored. Hey, we can get that bad boy in 1080p. That'd be great. Massive upgrade. They added more. I mean, they didn't add like a ton more to the game, but they had like a time trial mode. They added like just enhanced graphics. They added a new whole epilogue, like a 12-hour epilogue to the game, which is cool. It gives some closure on the story. Gives Millie a happy ending. We streamed it. That was a great stream. One of my favorite streams that I've done, probably. And so the ones that I want to have a remake, this is probably in no particular order. So I think the immediate one that comes to mind, if they don't do a sequel to it, I would love at least like a remaster or like a remake of it. It really depends what they are. Brutal Legend easily, I think, should get something new. You also know Brutal Legend was supposed to have a sequel after it came out, but EA canceled it because EA just didn't think it would. EA decided to cancel it when they had plans for it already. I think they already started development on it. EA is very, very cringe. So I'm trying to think. Number 4, I did mention number 4 already, and it was a Paper Mario N64. Yeah, this would be for a remake, ideally. I think a remake of this game would be great. I mean, I think they're more focused on making like these weird, like newer games. Origami King, which wasn't that bad. So I would like to see this game get remade in some way. What they do with it, I mean, obviously remake the graphics in a modern setting and like, you know, revise a lot of quality of life stuff and maybe even add to the game. Add like a hard mode, which like there's a mod for it right now on N64 where you can do that, which is good. I don't know. And see this game get some more love. I mean, TTYD could use one too. Kind of do like a Final Fantasy Chronicles sort of thing. So you could take like this concept, make it for Switch or like the next like Nintendo console, and put TTYD and 64 on it in like a whole like either at least a remaster format. Kind of with like 3D All Stars, just with like Paper Mario instead. Number 3, some other ones that I'd like to see. You know, they kind of allude to this sometimes too, with like the minigame collections, and that is the Mario Party N64 trilogy. Yeah, because the N64 trilogy I think is a very, very good trilogy. Especially the first, 2 and 3 especially are like great. Yeah, because like I would love to see like 2 and 3 kind of taken on in like a new format. Especially since like 3 is actually really popular for modding too. Mario Party Remaster?
Round of Mario Party Mayhem?
Superstars. Oh shit! My second most wanted for like a remaster / remake. This one's interesting. I don't know how many Kirby fans I have in the chat, but Amazing Mirror springs to mind for me because it's still. Oh, I think the idea of it is, it's more of an open world Kirby game where you can kind of go anywhere on the map and you have like 4 players you can play with. I just think that concept is cool because it's a co-op open world Kirby game. I know these are pretty popular because you also had 4 Swords Adventure around this time too. So I think if you do this but with Amazing Mirror on like the Switch or like a future console, this could be a lot of fun. Yeah, this game, my RPG, a great game. Yeah, this game is a SNES game, and it's like the precursor to Paper Mario. That's what this game is, and it's a fantastic game. It's Nintendo with Square is the thing. So I'm not sure how realistic it is. To be fair, we've gotten Square games on Nintendo consoles recently, and like Dragon Quest and shit. So I feel like anything is possible in that regards. Like, yeah, you could lump this into Paper Mario 64 because you could do like a trilogy of like Formula, which is Super Mario RPG. Then you can do like development of Paper Mario 64. then like the masterpiece, like the I guess like the other one too, like the well like renowned one, and then T2ID. I think it'd be good. Yeah, remember this is not ordered. Yeah, this is not ordered right now. I think it's a solid list. Don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty good.